Pose. Here we are. There we are. There we go. We're live. Everyone.
We're live.
Friday
All right.
No swearing in the first 5 minutes.
Is that right?
Yeah. Otherwise,
It's going to be really difficult.
Are we cut off? Really?
You can do it. You can do it. Just the first few minutes. Then
I just won't say the first few minutes.
And after that, we can swear.
yes. What? Not, don't go mad.
The problem is it just falls out. That's my problem. That's that noise.
That was it. That was the YouTube ad that came on. I have it on. I have it on YouTube.
Let's get this thing under control. Hey, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. It's Friday night. What are you listening to? Episode, where are we? 147. 147.
4 million.
Still knocking them out every Friday. It's always a good time. I'm getting a bit of deja vu here. We've done this before, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Before. It's a good deja vu. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of it. It's a good,
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe a little bit.
Listen, I'm going to be very well. Don't you worry about me. I'm going to be very well behaved. Like, I'm not going to say a peep. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Don't you worry about me.
Alan's back. Good to see you, mate.
All right, Alan was over at the house the other week for a Christmas knees up, and we watched Love Actually.
Lovely.
Last Friday night.
Yeah,
Lovely.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Around the tree, we had a very, very, very nice evening watching Christmas movies and chatting about Christmas.
Sounds
Roaring log on the fire.
Sounds lovely.
Log on the fire, yeah.
Yes, that's roasting on the fire. But that's because I had my kilt on.
But when
I did have a Scottish themed tablecloth, which is what we talked about.
That's me.
that's like the Walker's shortbread.
Well, it's a Scottish.
I know.
Yeah, it's the Scottish thing. That's his family fucking thing, isn't it?
Right, Briggs is back. Briggs is back in his own shop. Which, congratulations, 1 year in business.
Yep, 1 year. 1 year and 2 weeks.
1 year and 2 weeks. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Actually, we were over there the other week. I'm just going to say, Moving Records in Oakland, he has been taking some people selling him records that he's put up on the wall, and he's got some fucking burners in the shop.
If you're in Oakland, not now.
Sorry.
No swearing.
I think not now. Tomorrow, he's closed now. You can't go now.
No, but he does have some really amazing stuff in there.
I just told someone to go away.
Oh, really?
Right before we
Busy doing a podcast. Get
For
out.
example, can you see in the background there's a BGK Jonestown Helloa on the wall?
Wow.
Dead mint.
Top corner there.
Man, you've got good eyesight.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got a lot of really great stuff.
Let's get down to the business of what we came here to do. Talking about some great records. As always, we've got 5 each. We're going to have a great time talking about. Let's just like and subscribe. I'm not even going to bring up the thing tonight. Like and subscribe. Help us out. It doesn't cost anything. And if you're in the comments, make yourselves known. Audience participation always appreciated. All right.
Bring it on. Bring it on. We love it.
Bring it on. Let's
More the merrier.
More the merrier. All right. So I usually kind of start off with either like a new record or a short, sharp shock, something like that. I'm going straight in with a mid-90s 10-inch. How about that?
Oh, we don't like a 10-inch.
Wait.
I love it.
First of all,
Harsh
though,
format.
a little quiz. It should be easy. It shouldn't be too hard. Identify this man. Not the German policeman, the blonde punk being arrested at Hamburg Chaos Days.
Do not know him.
No idea.
Bay Area. Drummer of a famous San Francisco hardcore band.
Was he is it the drummer of
Oh, it's the guy from Christ. Markley, or not Markley.
No, close though. Close.
Yeah. John? Is his name John? What's his name again?
It's not him.
It's not him.
It's not him. But you're kind of in the right ballpark.
Okay.
Jack something?
No, it's
No
Todd.
idea.
It's Todd Kramer from Christ on Parade.
Oh, there you go.
Great, right.
Oh.
Okay.
Of course it is. It's
Okay.
being arrested at Chaos in Texas. Not Chaos in Texas. Chaos Days in Hamburg in the 90s. Man, I used to go and see this band a lot because they're part of like the Bremen, Oakland, like Bath thing.
Bob Fest.
Yeah.
I was there. Summer.
Okay. First quiz was a little tricky. Second quiz is very easy, although it's very small. Who is this man?
I cannot see that.
No, it's me.
It's here.
Wow, okay.
It's a picture in our like squat that we had at the time, but it's tiny.
Nice.
Yeah, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about this band Korrupt, who had some records out in the mid-90s. Great fucking band. I mean, they were doing like old school German punk, like Slime, but kind of updating it for the 90s. Political band, dual male vocals, super catchy. The singer Smeagol was a great bloke. Had a like really naturally kind of gruff, hoarse voice, real like deep, but he sings. He's a singer. He's not like a gruff, like a crossed vocalist. He actually sings. So it's like real sing along, beer drinking German punk, like they used to make back in the old days, but in the mid-90s. Great stuff. If you like old German punk, I mean, this is really like old classic German punk, but in the 90s, man. We're just talking about intros.
You jotting it down now? Is that what you're doing?
We would
Jot it down.
Jot it down. It's called Feste Feiern, and it came out on Barbaren the music. But it's funny, we were talking about like distros and stuff before we went on air. I remember having their first 7-inch. People did not like it because it was too like punk rock, and people sort of wanted crust and like fast hardcore, and it was just very tuneful, like old school German punk, and it was people just didn't want to hear that in like 1994.
But it was quite hard to sell German stuff in general in England. I know offense, it just was like
I agree. Yeah,
people could do certain places, but for some reason, like they were okay with like Belgium, it was like hiatus, whatever. But something like Germany, people just, even though everyone on tour there, it was hard to sell the records in England.
Do they sing in German?
Yes, I'm right. Similar political lyrics, but
it's much harder as well. I remember when I first started at Maximum Rock and Roll in 1994. They were like they had so much stuff from Germany, and they were like, "You're from Europe, review this." And so like it was always CDs. I don't remember getting any 10-inches, but there was always these CDs of German bands that were like, "You should review this," or "You should review this," because basically no one else gave a shit about anything that was like not American or Japanese, basically. But it was often terrible. I will say that. Or maybe I just didn't. Maybe because it was in German. The stuff was in German. I'm not speaking specifically about Korrupt. I don't remember them, but it was a hard sell. German punk was a hard sell.
They were also really into like kind of street punk as well. There's like a few like street punk labels when it was kind of really out of fashion. Nobody cared about it except like people in Germany. But Korrupt is not like that. It's like more of like a 90s political punk band, but the music is like old 80s German punk, like Slime and stuff like that.
Weren't Oxymoron German?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they, for some reason, but they all sang in English. They managed to be quite popular in England in the early 90s at the same time as that.
Right.
Yeah.
They were pretty popular, but I think they were on an English label too when they first came.
But then you had like stuff like the Sperm Birds, who are massive.
Yeah, but the singer's American.
I know.
As Americans sang in English.
And then Jingo the Lunch, Canadian singer. We could kind of go on with
German stuff was its own thing. And even if you go earlier to Slime, Toxoplasma, and all those, they're quite niche still now.
Yeah. This topic kind of comes up quite a bit actually about German punk, about how it's its own thing. It's just very different.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. It's not an attractive language, is it?
No.
Well,
that's
what it doesn't go as well with hardcore as other languages.
Have a glass of champagne and I'm denigrating our European cousins.
But weirdly, the Polish stuff was quite sort of cool.
Oh
yeah,
Brooksy, thanks for saying that. I forgot something. This is an interesting little sideline actually. There's a little bit of ska in here, and I think like Polish punk can pull off a bit of reggae and a bit of ska really well. But it's funny, I was checking out. This came out on a tape in Poland with Post Regiment on one side, Korrupt on the other.
There you go. And so the Polish stuff, people were totally fine with Post Regiment and Deserter and all those bands. There was something cool, maybe because they were more like Eastern Bloc, and there was something about them being from over the wall or something. Because even if you listen to the Polish stuff, it's a bit of a tricky listen. but for some reason, people were more forgiving about Polish bands than they were about like Yugoslavia. They were more forgiving than they were about Germany for whatever reason. I don't know why, and I don't think it's any easier or harder to listen to.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Germany is not a kind of cool, not a cool country for like, you know. But now we know that there's so much good punk from Germany. But
there's
tons.
Yeah. Of course there is.
All right. Trying to redeem himself now. All right, Mr. McNaughton, what's your first pick of the day? What you got?
All right. Well, now I have to pick one, right? We were
German
talking
record.
earlier. Not a German record. All right. First one is a new record, newish. Added Dimensions.
Oh, I like them. You sold me the single of those.
Yeah, I had a bunch of the singles for sale.
Yeah.
Fell off the back of a lorry in Portland. I was around Erica Elizabeth's house and just like she wasn't looking. I was like, I'll have some.
Are they from Portland? I thought they were from somewhere else, but yeah.
No, the label's from Portland. Domestic Departure.
Oh, that's Erica.
Yeah.
That's Erica.
Yeah, Erica from Coley.
Okay.
Her label.
Yeah.
And I thought she had kind of been getting out of the label game and then maybe jump back in.
Interesting.
This. And so great record. First LP for this group. I say group, it's really one person. I think her name's Sarah. With some other, with some people helping or whatever, but it's really nice sort of DIY. I mean, my wheelhouse, DIY post-punk. A little bit more of a 90s kind of maybe Slater Kinney tinge to it, as well as the sort of usual suspects like kind of Wire, a little bit of a little bit Wire, a little bit of Shop Assistants, stuff that we the stuff that we love, at least me and Justin love. And
what are you talking about, Al? I fucking like. I don't mind.
Okay, all right. Okay, I just
yeah, put Mike in there.
We're all in there now. We're all in our advanced stage. In our advanced stage, we're all like, oh yeah, a little bit of indie pop doesn't go wrong. But good stuff. The title of the album, Jane from Preoccupied America. You'll notice that as a bit of a Swell Maps reference. It's kind of, and that's apt as well. So yeah, I just I've liked everything they've done, and so I was happy when the album came out, and so jumped right on it, and yeah.
I thought the single was really great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Where's
the band?
There's a couple of things since then. There's been a couple of like Bandcampy things, tape things, and stuff like that. But this is the first 12-inch. And
where are they from?
Yeah.
East Coast.
East Coast, like, is it Richmond?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Might be Richmond.
I just made that up though, but that's what I thought.
I think it's maybe Richmond or Philly. Let me see. Let's do a bit of a.
Don't look it up now. It's okay.
Nope. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. I thought Erica had like stopped. I remember her like saying she's kind of stopped doing the label, but obviously she's still doing it. So. Yeah.
No, and thankfully, because it's I mean, someone would have put this out, but I'm glad Erica did because I think she does a good job. And I think it's just hard. I mean, I understand why she was kind of like not into it. It's hard to do a DIY label. I'm sure Justin knows he does it, and it's especially because the one thing about Domestic Departure is they don't have any sort of streaming. They don't do streaming. They don't do Spotify. They don't do. I don't even think she does Bandcamp. So it's really sort of, it's like DIY the way it is properly DIY, so I respect that. Even though I tend to dabble in the dark arts of Bandcamp and stuff like but I do. I respect this, and I respect the people that someone's got that commitment to do that, and so yeah.
Nice, cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe, is it me?
Yeah.
So I bought a T-shirt off this band because it was a punk choking out a policeman, and I was like, that seems like something I'd wear. So I ordered it off this band, and then they sent me, and I'd heard the record, and they sent me the T-shirt and the record with like a letter and a hand-drawn picture of someone showing their bum and saying, "We love you." And I'm just thinking, like, no one really does that anymore, like where they like actively engage with you. And so I love the record too, but there's something about people engaging with you that really made it more interesting. So they're from Philly. They sound a bit like a mix of the Necros and Chaos UK, maybe.
Oh,
And it's just band The Berserk.
oh, nice.
Where's the Dictator? And you know, there's not like a label thing. It's like someone's house.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that cover.
Yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant.
I've been meaning to
Yeah.
buy that record. I still haven't.
Does that say? Is it like 45 RPM? Like on
Yeah,
the
it's 7 songs in like 8 minutes or something.
but it actually says 45 RPM in the cover, which I
Yeah.
like from a design
Yeah,
perspective.
it's
Like, I fucking love
Proper
that.
homey looking, like with someone's address, and there's I don't know where you find it other than through the band. It's out there, obviously, but it was just something about it reminding me of back in the day. And then listening to it, it's like, yeah, it's like we were just talking about lots of records are coming out of the sort of generic hardcore, like, oh, that's decent enough, yeah, it's fine, but it's really good. It's like a nice. Imagine Chaos UK split DNT era mixed with Necros.
Wow.
Like American hardcore with a little bit of that. It's like super raw, really fast, no bullshit, you know. And then like the in sleeves, you know, is like hand drawn things and cops getting choked out and stuff. And I'm just like, there's just something about the whole thing. I like it.
Wow.
And the record's great, and it's super fun and fast and brand new. So I was trying to be current. So
That band has that guy PJ that was in like Blood Crow Butcher and a bunch of
okay.
like, great bands. Everything he touches is gold.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yes.
There you go.
This guy. So I don't know who wrote the thing to me, but I thought it was very sweet that they went through the effort of doing it. You know what I mean? But then I'd already heard the tracks. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the T-shirt because the T-shirt's really funny. But then they sent me a record as well. And I was like,
I want to see it now. I want to see the T-shirt now.
I'll try and find the picture of it. I can't remember where the T-shirt is. Maybe it's on the
Don't worry about it.
maybe on the inner sleeve of the record. It shows it because I think they drew it on something. Hold on. Oh yeah, so the inner sleeve is just like a photocopied sheet as well. You know, perfectly. No, it doesn't have the cop being choked out. It has some other weird one. It's some guy with a mohawk smashing the earth, and then it doesn't have the choking out of the cop. But anyway, I just thought they were really fun, and the record's fucking absolutely ripping. Like it's hella fast.
Cool.
Like, what we like.
Yeah, I need to get that thing.
Yeah. So that's number one. I don't know how long it'll be around because it feels like it's self-released. I don't know whether it is or
I
not.
think it is.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Worth getting.
Beautiful.
Briggsy.
Briggsy,
All
what you got? What you
I'm going to go back to Mike's pick a bit
right.
because I too was thinking about mid-90s bands trying to do like an earlier style of punk. And I was thinking about Oxymoron specifically this morning, and it's funny that
Oh, wow.
brought them up. But instead, I'm going with an American band from that same era, from 1995. Band's still around. They never really did anything quite like this, though. And
Still around.
Oh, we talked about
Yeah.
we were talking about it the other day.
this
Yeah.
record is so good. I only had like a recent repress of it for a while that somebody gave me. I put it on and it kind of didn't do anything. But I got this 95 original in a collection recently, and I put it on, and the fidelity is so much better. And it kind of brought me back to listening to this record when it was new.
Is that the first LP, Justin?
Yes.
It's the first 12-inch. There's like that 10-inch EP before it.
Okay.
When it was called Johnny P. Bucks and the Swinging Otters.
I saw them when they were called Johnny P. Buck and Swinging Otters in
Really?
Japan, supporting NoFX.
Whoa.
I remember when they were called that. And I like, and because like it was around the time when I first moved here, and I'd see they were having shows, and I was like, "That sounds fucking terrible." Sorry, we're past 7:20. I can.
It's okay.
That sounds terrible. Johnny P. Bucks and the Swinging Otters. So I just like avoided them. And there's plenty. At that time, there was plenty of other choice of gigs going on. Like there was like 5 gigs a night that you could go to. So I never saw them when they were called Johnny P. Bucks and the Swinging Otters. And that even because of that, when they changed to just being Swinging Otters as well, like I was kind of it took me a while before I like dipped my toes in because I was like Johnny P. Bucks band. That's it's just it was weird. Like the name just like put me off because it was like so like jokey, kind of like
Swinging
Otters,
like pretty stupid name too.
It's a pretty stupid name, right? So it doesn't. It's one of those things where the name does not. Some bands, the name is the band, it fits the band. You hear the name, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that name does not fit the quality of the band.
They're still good live too. But
They played. There was an era in San Francisco that was just before I moved here, and I came and visited during it. And my missus is part of it, where it was like all these bands were playing at the Purple Onion and stuff, and the Swinging Otters were the producers, the Workers Stiffs, and all this stuff. And then Swinging Otters came to England. I think it was 96 or something. They toured with Rancid on their second tour, but I think they played on their own, and they were just better than most of the English bands of that era. Like of 94, playing in a club, they were good at it. You know what I mean? And they had a different vibe, West Coast vibe, and they were great live. They were super tight, and yeah, that LP, and actually the second one, the one after that's great too. But they were really, really good, and it's one of those records that really stands the test of time.
Oh yeah,
it really.
It's like I don't know if you've ever listened to it, Mike. If you listen to this one, it's totally like a 1995 San Francisco take on Stiff Little Fingers.
Yeah,
and it really has been hitting lately. I've listened to it at least once a day lately.
It's really good, and I think it's got sort of watered down because of everyone's like, oh, it's Rancid, it's all these bands, but they were separate from that.
Okay, right.
And they are still going, and as far as I'm aware, I think they're still good because the Jack from One Man Army's in them now.
Okay,
so they have like decent people in them. I think it's still great, but yeah, that album's that's a killer one.
I must check that out. I feel like I saw a copy online yesterday, and it was like super expensive. Maybe it was like a first press or something. It was like 20,000 yen. I don't know.
I think a lot of that stuff, if you go back and have a dig around, like the original TKO record stuff, and you think, oh fuck, that's going to be almost free, surely. And then you look at it and you're like, oh fuck, why is that $150? Like the first,
right.
Whatever. And you'd be surprised that there's this little era there that actually stood the test of time and is still as good.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, but they did reissue it, I think, a couple times. I think. But
what's your standout tracks, Justin?
What's that?
What's your standout track?
Let's go through. Teenage Genocide is awesome.
Teenage Genocide is the one.
Mr. Believer, No Eager Men.
Yeah.
There you go.
But they're still, I mean, I wouldn't go see them now, but that's just me. But I think they still sound pretty decent, and it's a great record. But Briggsy was saying that the pressing on the later pressings is different.
It's kind of, at least the one I had sounded pretty dead.
Oh, yeah?
This one, I think you can get these originals for probably like $20.
Okay.
It shouldn't be expensive.
Okay. Hook me up.
We'll get you one. It was
produced by Lars Fredriksson as well.
Nicky Garrett from the UK Subs released it.
Yes.
New Red Archives, right?
That's right.
New Red Archives.
He did.
Yeah.
All right.
Band that everyone was in. Anyway.
Nice. Good first round. Things are looking up.
Bradley, can only get better.
Came back from the Germans and not very good language. All right. I pulled this record off the rack this week because a lot of people were posting about the singer, guitar player, songwriter of this band, and it's been like almost 20 years since he passed away, which kind of blew my mind. He passed away on December 6th, like 2006, so it's almost 20 years in. Man, this record takes me back to a certain period. Like I just moved to Bath, like in 87, 88, and I bought this band's first 2 singles and like fucking loved them. And then the album came out. I'm interested to see what people think of this record. It's Mega City 4 and
Tranzophobia. Oh, love them.
This is one of those ones where I was like, someone must have shut them. No, nobody's talked about this yet. So I was like, okay.
Oh, good
timing. You know, it was like people have been posting about Wiz passing away.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it for a while, and man, it sounds as good today as it did to me in 1989. I do remember people saying that, like, because it's a little bit more polished than the first 2 singles, like Miles Apart and Clear Blue Sky. It's a fucking classic song.
Great
but
stuff.
Man, this record, even though I like the fact that they like didn't put any of the singles on the record. They could have like cheekily put like a couple of songs from the single. They didn't. It's like all new songs. It kind of almost plays like a sort of singles going steady Buzzcocks kind of thing, even though it's like a studio album with all new songs. Like, it's just every song is just like. I mean, I know that Wiz. I read a quote from Wiz like, "Yeah, my goal is to write like the best song I can. Like, every day I try and write the best song I possibly can." I mean, some of these songs, like, not to sort of get too deep into sort of songwriting and all that kind of thing, but some of these songs, man, they're up there with like the Kinks, and like he was really going for sort of a Beatles, like, classic British like pop. This isn't a punk record.
Pop. It's pop, 100% pop, and they got quite. I mean, when I say big, they got big by our standards, right? They got big. They'd be on like normal radio. They'd be on like maybe Top of the Pops. Were they on Top of the Pops? Maybe they were definitely.
They were
big.
They were definitely from that thing where they were like playing with the Wonder stuff and bands like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Ned's Atomic Dustbin and stuff like that. I feel like they got kind of brought in, lumped into that. And I will say at the time, I was not as much of a fan of Mega City 4. Maybe for that reason, because I was a little snob, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, they're too popular. They've been on the cover of NME. And then because similarly there'd be like the Senseless Things.
That's what I was about to say. That was the other band that was the.
And I like this. Oh, I like the Senseless Things more, or then even like whatever, like your Snuff or your Leatherface, that were like another level down.
Yeah.
That was like they were less about trying to get popular.
I think this was a very like sincere band, like.
Yeah, and I totally. Coming back to it later is where I'm like, okay, yeah, that actually was good, and I was overlooking stuff because I had like a chip on my shoulder or an attitude about it. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, when did that come out? Like 1987 or something?
1989. It's on Decoy Records, which is a viral solution.
At that time in my life, I had a lot of opinions that I look back on now, and I'm like,
yeah. We were young. We had opinions, right? We still have opinions now as well. But it's like, I mean, this record just, I mean, like. Like we were just going back to the Swinging Utter song. Someone asked Briggsy what his favorite songs were. If someone to ask me, it's hard to pick some favorites. Severe Attack of the Truth is amazing. I always like January.
Yeah, that's a great song. They did a couple of singles around that same time that maybe aren't on that record that are as good as well.
Yeah. They
did a few singles around that era. They did, and they didn't do much because, like you said, he died a bit later on. I think they only really did.
Well, they did he had like 2 other bands, right? I wish Tony Pence was here because he's like their biggest fan, and like I think he has every record that Wiz ever played on. He had like 2 other bands, I think, after Mega City 4 broke up, which I haven't got to yet. But man, this is a classic. Like if they sort of younger American people who are like into the Buzzcocks and you want to something, and you want to check out some like top quality like pop. This is where to go.
It's really good. I don't think they really made it to America the same way the Census didn't either. Like, so nobody knew. And they were in our world. They were like Allan said, a little bigger than the underground punk bands, almost. A little bigger. You know, there was like the Sect were another one that was like a little bit lower down, and so they sort of played together, right? And they played. They weren't playing fucking stadiums, but they were playing a basement.
I mean,
I feel like they crossed over. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I saw them at Mole's Club in Bath, which is a tiny, tiny place. Around this time, just before this record came out, I mean, there's only like 100 people there, 100 people.
Yeah.
50,
after that, I mean, maybe even like the record after the one you're holding there, where they started to bubble up. And I think you were saying like, they played with Wonder stuff, Ned's Atomic Dustbin. I feel like they even had some crossover with like, I know people who were, I knew some people who were like proper like New Model Army fans that were like, oh, I really like this band, they're good. You know, it's like. You know, so once it kind of crossed over to that was almost like New Model Army fans are like, you know, for American viewers, they're almost like deadheads in a way that like they just like they glom onto this band and just like
that's it. Sorry, I forgot he did. Wiz played in the Doughboys for a while. I forgot about that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But even so, the Doughboys weren't particularly big in England either. You know what I mean? So it was still like, I went there with 150 people. That in our area was a big gig. You know what I mean? Like 200 people at a gig would be like, oh, they're big now. Yeah. So they never got massive, but they never got really shit. So they did. Yeah. All their stuff's worth getting. That's the one, but it's all good.
All the singles LP. Also, classic.
Wes playing in the Doughboys is like such a massive like advantage for the Doughboys. It's a little bit like when Johnny Marr joined like Modest Mouse or whatever it was, like that band he joined. Right. What was the band he joined?
I don't know.
Johnny Marr joined some like.
I'm wearing a shirt of it, but I don't know what you're talking about.
It was like he joined some like not Modest. Maybe it was Modest Mouse. Maybe it was was it the Shins?
Some indie band, and then they were.
He joined some indie band and was there. Joined them on guitar, like, and you're like, you got Johnny Marr to play. It's like
weird,
you know.
All right, this is like the last sort of familiar record you're going to see from me tonight. I'm going deep.
Don't you worry about that. Oh, I'm keeping it familiar. Don't you worry about that.
All right. What a classic! Right. What a classic record that is. Just a top tier, fucking British pop record.
Very great, yeah, very good.
All right,
that's great. All
right, Allan.
Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
It was Modest Mouse. There you go.
Oh,
you're right.
Modest. Yeah. Oh, look. See, thanks internet. That's not weird.
Yeah.
All right. This is a compilation record that just came out this year. And the label that put it out some other stuff that I talked about the last time I was on or the time before that. It's Night School Records in Glasgow, which is the guy from I think he was in that band Anxiety, hardcore band, and he was also in what was that band with Paco? Lowest Form. He was in Lowest Form, but this is his record label, Night School.
Night School? Those guys?
Yeah. Night School, yeah.
Huh.
And this is a compilation of junk shop synth pop from 1978 to 1985.
All English? Is it British stuff or world stuff?
Yeah, well, I think it's all British.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Justin has it in the shop. I saw it when I was there.
For it now, I think.
Yeah. It was. I saw it in the shop last time I was there, but this is the limited pink vinyl or whatever, clear vinyl.
Nice.
That I got in Glasgow. But yeah, anyway, it's all just like, and there's a nice like booklet with like loads of information and like stuff about. It's a double LP of like. Basically, the sort of explosion in 1978, well, 1978, but like once people started to be able to get like synthesizers, and just like playing around with like figuring out like pop music, bedroom pop music, DIY synth pop music, and so it's we've got on here. I'd never heard of pretty much anything on here.
Same. except Jerry and the holograms.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I even thought like what's the ones I thought Solid Space would be on here, but that's like it's like Solid Space, but like
even more obscure than that.
Even more obscure than Solid Space, right?
Wow, Jesus Christ, wow.
So yeah, Jerry and the holograms, like Justin said, and then like Disco Volante, the microbes, but yeah, just like really cool. I mean, the whole package is just like really like
It's nice.
a labor of love and really nicely put together, like anything that comes on from Night School. Yeah, and then when you read, reading the stories and stuff, it's just really interesting. It's like people are like just trying new things, you know what I mean? Like they're just like, oh, here's some, you know, they don't know what's cool yet, they don't know what's good yet. They're just like, this makes a nice sound. This makes a weird noise. I'm gonna just like make a song with this, you know.
Do you remember the Mesthetics compilations that came out?
Oh yeah, I love them. Yeah.
And it's that stuff, right? Isn't it? A lot of that stuff.
Well, Mesthetics is kind of like more, a little bit more like art punk, slash Desperate Bicycles, kind of like DIY, like
okay,
that stuff with Mesthetics. You might get the occasional bit of like synthy stuff, but this is very like, it's very much like people are trying to be like Gary. They're trying to be like Gary Newman.
Exactly.
Or like you know, Human League or something like that, but they haven't got any gear or money. They've got like, you know, some Casio thing that like their mum got them for Christmas or something like that, and it's like or a, you know, a Rolf Harris stylophone, whatever it is, and they're just like making pop music. So it's like, you know,
I think there was like a Killed by something that was all electronic.
Probably,
stuff.
yeah.
There was like a new Killed by New Wave or Killed by something like that, and had I don't know where they cross over, but that vibe, like
totally,
all electronic-y, original.
Yeah.
Like 70s
I remember wanting like a synthesizer. I certainly didn't know how to play piano or anything like that, but I used to do like air synth on my windowsill. Like to whatever like songs I had taped, I'd be like Gary Newman or whatever. I would do like air synth, like you have air guitar, but
like, you recording to that, Alan?
Well, there'd be no noise. So it'd just be like I'd just be playing along with the radio, but like, you know, like just doing the like.
It's gonna be you out a different time, different place. That's gonna be you on those comps. The thing is, sometimes with those compilations, though, it's a nice idea.
Oh,
but
it's not all gold.
Right, that's what I mean. It's a nice idea.
It's obscure for a lot of it's obscure for a reason, but this thing is like there's definitely a lot to like
actually
enjoy.
Yeah,
I think I saw that actually. Yeah, that comp that he's talking about. It's just something to enjoy the kind of naivety of it, right? Because there's everything nowadays is so polished and like.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to do this genre from this period and I'm going to nail it. I'm going to do it perfectly or whatever. And it's like, Snoozeville, right? But someone that just like doesn't know what's cool yet. And they're just like, I'm going to try some stuff. It's like, it's nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you always wonder what happened to all those people. You know, they did that one thing in their bedroom in 1979 and then now.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember,
even though it's just on some compilation now, you know.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read the liner notes in this, but there was like there's a couple of people who went on to do other stuff, right? And there's always those ones are always interesting, right? Like, oh, they're now blah blah blah. They did that. But I'm not going to read it all now again to try and remember.
There's so many of these comps now, right? Like, seems like every country has sort of one of these comps. I think didn't Cooch like a Colombian one or a Peruvian one or something like? Yeah. Last time he was on, I bought it. It's really, really good actually. But it seems like every country has like one of these, like, you know.
Yeah, I was in Italy a few months ago, and I was in there was like a bunch of comps of Italian new wave and Italian synth and everything. And I wasn't really buying a lot of records because I was like traveling around and I didn't want to carry stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll get these. These will turn up in like at Moving Records. my favorite record store in Oakland.
In Oakland, on
And they haven't, but you know,
They will. They will.
never know.
they will.
All right.
Right.
Beautiful.
Okay,
All right.
I'm going backwards and forwards, so I'm going current. I'm going current with the label. We're talking Paco. We're talking
okay.
Sean, right?
Nice.
We're also talking Southwest England. We're talking a band that hasn't been on here, and I had to double check because I don't know why. It's not my favorite record of theirs, but there's a reason it exists.
There you go. Ripcord.
Yep.
Damage is done.
So it's the reissue of the Flexi.
Yes. Yes.
And it was a time that at least 3 of us lived through in England where it was a game-changing thing. It was this Flexi and it was Heresy, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I prefer the LP. I prefer the second LP more. I think they were Heresy never got what they deserved on vinyl.
Right. Yes.
Record did because
Agree.
you know
Agree.
this record, right?
I mean,
Is fantastic, recording and everything. But the reason I brought this one up was because it just came out on La Vida es un Mus and Raging, which is Steve from Ripcord and Heresies.
Yep.
And I've done stuff with him. So it's a remixed version of the Flexi with a live thing on the other side. And, everything they've ever recorded has been reissued over and over again. And I've
Right.
got it all. And I think it's great because it means it's not collectible. It's not rare.
Yeah.
But this is a really important part of English history because it was a game changer. It's so fast and so raw. And if you talk to those guys, if you talk to Steve from Ripcord, he's like, and we read Max Rock and Roll. We couldn't get these records in England, right?
Right.
But you could write to Ripcord and we could meet them, and you lived in Bath. You obviously saw them many times, right?
Yeah.
And that's through writing to those bands I did discover Siege and Mod 47 and all these other bands that they loved. SSD Control. Like Steve was like, I literally just wanted to be a Boston hardcore demo as a band, but somehow we couldn't quite do it right. So we ended up with Ripcord. They didn't want to be Ripcord. They wanted to be SSD Control.
Yeah.
But it ends up being this really odd thing, and it's just
They did a pretty good job.
it's just fucking breakneck. It doesn't fucking stop. There's no solos. There's nothing. It just starts and fucking goes and ends.
You know what I was thinking about? I don't think I ever saw them with Steve. I think I only saw them with Busby.
Because very few people saw them with Busby.
I did. I think I only saw. I could be wrong, but I
only
always remember
6, 8,
seeing him with
7,
Busby
yeah.
because he was such a. Remember, he had like that 30-minute documentary about him on the BBC.
I do. When he was skateboarding down the front and stuff and talking about
the usual day. That's totally the wrong accent. But this is like, it's like, yeah, it was like a day in the life of Busby from Ripcord.
Yeah, and remember going to his, but I remember watching it and he had all these records in his house, all these flyers. I was like, what is that? But it's funny because weirdly, I'm good mates with those guys, but they've, for some reason, have almost slightly kind of smudged out Busby from the history of just sort of moved on from him.
There was some stuff going on with him, I think. I'm not sure the details. But I want to say that when the Busby era is sort of more Chaos UK.
It is. And actually, everyone really loves the later era. And I do too. I do. But for me, because I got Defiance of Power, Fast and Furious, and that first, it's so dear to me. I don't know whether it's just because I got it first, because I mean, like, Defiance of Power is such a ripper.
It is.
And that era was so great that I don't know whether I'm sort of, whatever about it. But that the Damage Is Done was almost unlistenable, as was Never Healed.
Right.
They were just, Flexies at the back of the day. I mean, you got it through the post. It was probably kind of bent. Squashed it out, put on the record player, your mum's record player, and it just sounded like, I wrote a thing for the demos compilation they did.
Okay, nice.
Because I've known him since I was a kid. I wrote to him when I was 14. And the reason I wrote it was because I told him back in the day when everything sounded really shit, my friend's stereo made everything sound like a Ripcord demo. So we would just say, like, everything just sounded like just fucking mangled. And so that's what we were like, oh, it sounds like a fucking Ripcord demo. And there's something about it. And if you don't know them, and I'm surprised no one's brought them up on this show because I looked it up and I couldn't believe it.
I feel like not that record. We must have talked about Ripcord. I think
it's not on the list.
It's just they've come in conversation a lot, but maybe no one's actually showed like a pick as a Ripcord record. Yeah.
But if you're going to start with something and you've never heard them, I wouldn't buy that.
No, it's for maniacs only.
It's for if you know them, you need it. Go get the other stuff because it's all available, and even the originals aren't very rare.
Well, it's like the discography, right? Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 discographies.
I reissued Harvest Hardcore. You could still buy it for fuck all. Like that's the one. Like Harvest Hardcore single's amazing, and that LP's brilliant. Defiance of Power. Damage is a tough listen.
We have a
really
Poetic Justice that's been here since the day we opened. Nobody's bought it.
What? Wow! Tomorrow,
best record ever. Like I absolutely love it. But I think Americans. I think maybe there was an era when they loved all that because of 65 records and What Happens Next, all that really sort of leaned into the heresy thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, like if you talk back even to back in England, when they put out Defiance of Power, it's supposed to be a split record. When he put the LP out, he couldn't fucking sell it.
Right.
Because even then, no one really gave a shit about it. So
right.
But it's a classic, and I brought it up just so I could get Ripcord in.
Yeah,
I think if you wrapped Poetic Justice in a cover that looks like the one that Tim just showed up, it would probably sell.
You're not wrong.
It doesn't look like it's going to sound right. Like it's very.
It's just a picture of a forest, isn't it?
It's a picture, but it's like got that in the background.
It looks like the Visions of Change LP or something. Where it's just
but it's really this LP is absolutely blazing. Like,
it is.
Anyway,
rips.
Yeah, it's just I love how it's just great to talk about this stuff. It just brings back good memories of those days, you know. So
yeah, that's what I got for you.
There you go. Nice. All right,
my turn.
Hey.
So this record, I don't really know much about. It was in a buy I did a couple weeks ago. For some reason, I thought it looked interesting, and I threw it on. Man, I don't know. It's like the internet tells me they're probably from Rancho Cucamonga.
Shut up. No one's from there except in some like joke TV show.
It's from 1985, and they had something on Fart Blossom, but this is the first 12-inch on a label called Homemade Record without an S. And the band is called Brave New World.
Look at that.
Initiation. Nice baby being born on the cover. Why can't I go?
Wow. Never heard of it.
It sounds like some weird mix of like PIL, like the first Christian Death, and maybe something like Spike and Vein. Like parts of it are pretty hardcore and weird and cool, and then other parts are straight PIL down to every riff in the vocals.
Weird.
It's supposed to come out.
What year did you say?
85.
85. Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. It's
I
like
hadn't either.
There's these things that go through the things. And it looks
great.
It looks like a Nation on Fire record or something.
It's really good. It also looks like a, what is it, Broken Flag, like noise Romley or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great record. If you see it, you should check it out.
Might be for sale in your shop tomorrow morning.
You're running.
Probably at least a month, I would say.
What's the going rate on one of those bad boys?
Like $15-20, I think.
So that's what you would sell it for tomorrow, for example, if we went to the shop.
Get yourself down to
and moving records and people open.
I won't be here till next Thursday. So
all right. And that's also in your house, so not for sale.
That's it.
I
don't know
what Brave New what?
It's cool. It's weird. Brave New World. And
Is
actually,
it?
the B-side is 2 long tracks, and one of them sounds more like the UK Mob.
Ooh.
Oh. You left that little nugget to the end. Wow.
I know.
Ooh.
We're in the lead.
I mean, it kind of, each song sort of sounds like a different band.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Is it on streaming and stuff? And is it why it's obscure because it's not on anything?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Oh. But you know how it is, because sometimes if something's never on there, it just disappears. You know, if it's on Spotify, it sort of rolls around and people find it.
Yeah.
But some stuff just never got Bandcamped or whatever it is, and so it's not digital. It just disappears.
I find that like pretty much anything is on YouTube. Almost everything is on YouTube.
There's still stuff that isn't. There's still stuff that isn't.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But you're right. I mean,
So
you probably find it, but yeah, and when it doesn't make it that far, I mean, I'm going to just go quickly. I know we've got to keep moving, but Allan turned me on this band, the Cataran from Scotland, who toured with Nirvana and shit, right? But they're really hard to find.
They are. But that's such a funny thing to say, because as I was thinking about that band when I pulled out the Mega City 4 record.
I was going to say though, I was going to mention that when you were talking about Mega City 4, because they were like
Really?
similar, but
And I thought too, I'm going to be able to find those records easy. No, I couldn't find any of them. But that's another topic. But yeah,
It's another topic, but that's interesting because they're a really good band that you can't find. So
yes.
I need to add something that since he's watching, Scott Morris said right now he just bought a copy of this record for $11.99 on Discogs postpaid.
Is Scott Moore in the chat?
I don't know if he's in the chat, but he just texted me about it.
Okay.
he bought it right now as you're talking.
Yeah.
sorry I didn't see you Sunday. Love you dearly.
Hi,
Good
Scott.
I've got a message Scott actually. I wanted to come on the show.
Good luck.
Hey, that was a great pick. Just like 2 things in common with my pick.
Nice.
First of all, it came out in 1985. It also came on a label that doesn't have the S at the end of record.
Weird.
Isn't that a coincidence, right? And it also is the jacket of this record does not match the music, which is a theme that came out with like bands and band names that don't match the music. So nice. Okay, I'm going in here. I've been really listening to this like old Japanese band called Friction.
Oh yeah. Great band.
Guys, stay away from like the lap because there's a lot of like explosions coming off the.
I think
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
you've got a weird podcast mic set up. You keep hitting or something like that.
Yeah. It's okay. So, okay, lot of Friction. I've been getting really into like first wave Japanese punk. I've been getting into Friction so much that I'm like, how deep can I go with this band? And so I find out that a couple of the members have solo records, and it's a good time to discover this stuff because all this stuff is being reissued, and I'll get to that in a minute. But man, if you saw this record in the racks, I wouldn't buy it. I would not buy this record if I saw it in the racks. It just does not sound anything like the music. This looks like kind of just a, I don't know what it's like a Paul Young record. I don't know what is it like
or something.
Just a sort of middle of the road. Like I didn't even know what this looks like, but I just wouldn't buy it, you know. So anyway, yeah, 1985. It's the drummer of Friction, who's also a sax player.
That's a
drummer.
I mean, that's too. You're going.
Bear with me.
Drummer's solo project.
Okay.
Like I'm not.
I know this is a hard sell, but man, this is the record I've been playing the most this week.
Nice.
This guy played in the Contortions. He lived in New York. He played in the Contortions, and he played with teenage Jesus and the Jerks as well. But I'm not quite sure the timeline if it was a later lineup. But anyway, this guy, he lived in New York, so he's loving the no wave, right? The New York no wave mixed with the early Friction stuff. Jesus, I mean, you know, solo record of a band. How could it be? Fucking amazing. I mean, it's fucking dense, claustrophobic, It's rhythmical, obviously, because he's a drummer. The drums sound amazing. It's 1985, so you could be thinking the drum sound could be a bit dodgy. It's not. The drums are really powerful. It's like hypnotic. It's kind of okay. It's like no wave mixed with like sort of that early, like, what do you call that stuff? Like the funky side of post-punk, you know, like a certain ratio and like Gang of Four,
disco kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's better than that. It's like dark and like menacing. And he plays the sax, and it's not skronking though. It's not a skronker. There's like kind of melodies in there. But actually, honestly, Briggsy, he does get a little bit Ornette Coleman here and there.
It sounds a little shit to me, but you know what?
I know it's not for you, this one, but man, I'm telling you, this record is phenomenal. And there's some vocals, there's some like sparse vocals here and there, but it's just so like claustrophobic and dense.
But is it Japanese specific? So you know,
well, I read a review today. Actually,
does it exist here, or is it just like, oh, it was only?
Well, it came out on Japan Record in 1985. Right. Now, Japan Record, if that rings a bell to you, you would have seen it on the Great Punk Hits compilation with Gizm and the Execute.
So it did get around.
Yeah, it came out on a major label in 1985. Right. I don't know how well it did. It got reissued on CD like once, I think. This is the first time this has been reissued ever. There's an Italian label called Spittle. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that label. Super prolific label. They've got like an imprint now called Spittle, made in Japan. And they've got all the rights, to all the top tier like Japanese post-punk. And
so probably it'll get here.
Yeah, it's I was just saying it's like on an imprint called Spittle, made in Japan. Right. It's an Italian label. But they've definitely done some deals. They've got like the rights to all of this amazing like Japanese post-punk. I can't believe, actually. I'm not going to give away because I'm going to go through these like one by one every week. But I know it doesn't sound like that appealing, but man,
I'm curious.
Amazing.
Is it him playing everything? Or
yes, he plays everything. And there's one guy like playing an organ, which kind of sounds like a B3, which is a weird mix of B3 Hammond, like in 1985. But man,
yeah.
I'm telling you,
that's
this
cool.
record.
Deep cut, definitely a Briggsy type vibe.
Yeah, it should be out there. I mean, I don't know what Spittle, made in Japan's distribution is like.
So you know, if you're in America, if anyone does it, Forced Exposure has like a whole thing where there's like they've got all this weird shit that you wouldn't expect.
That's a good shout. Sure.
Yes, that would be a label that I would think. Also, I think Spittle, made in Japan would probably go to Forced Exposure for this kind of thing. I feel like it's perfect for them. I talked about Friction before. Like, I've been talking about Friction a lot, actually. Like Friction live records.
You have been talking about it a lot on your other.
Everywhere it's about.
Yeah. And I like them because I remember hearing them back way when, but they're weird too.
They're a bit weird. It's like herky jerky a little bit. The first album is more straight ahead, but not really. But yeah, I know it's a tough sell to like, you know, a solo record from a band. But man, Briggsy, maybe this one is for you. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's called Chiko Hige Trap, 1985 Japan record, 2025 Spittle, made in Japan. Lovely stuff. I'm telling you.
Lovely stuff.
Scott Moore would like it. There you go.
I've gotten more confident about like trying to pitch records that I know are unfamiliar. I think it's good. It's good to come on and like learn about stuff.
Yes,
I think so too.
Yeah.
I feel like that cover is also. It makes me think of like Paul Haig, who was in Joseph K. Had like solo records after that, and they look like that. Like they look like it's like 80s. It's the 80s, and it's the pot is close up, and he's got like that kind of haircut, and it's just like that. And so you wouldn't necessarily take a risk on it, but then they're good.
There is a James Chance record on Selfish. It's James.
Really?
Yeah, it's James Black. Is it James Black and the Whites or James White and the Blacks?
Oh yeah, yes.
Selfish.
Came on Selfish. Yeah. Good looking out. Yeah. I mean, a lot of this no wave stuff I can't be doing with it either. This one has like kind of like melodies and stuff to latch onto.
But it's one of those genres. It's quite tricky because you can be right at the edge of it being
right.
You know what I mean? It can be on the edge, and some people like that clattery weird shit. And then
I don't like it if it's too weird. This one is so rhythmical and like in the pocket that you can't help but like be hypnotized by it. Anyway, enough of my yabbering about.
Cool.
And the photography, by the way, it's a kind of nondescript photo, but it's the guy that took all the pictures, not all of them, but a lot of the first wave Japanese punk, like Mirrors and all those bands. He took the pictures.
That's another band like Friction that are sort of that.
Right. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I know. All right. Allan,
Right.
what's your Japanese post-punk pick of the day?
Yeah, no, okay. So I'm going to pick something, but it's got a bit of a backstory.
Nice.
And then a bit of a rabbit hole for us to go down.
Good.
Maybe.
We're gonna be night.
So, and this guy I know, this friend of mine, that I've known for a long time. His name's Gert, and he used to be the dude that used to do sound for the X and Dogface Hermans.
Okay.
And way back, he used to make. I mean, he made for all of his friends. He would make tapes, and the X back in the late 80s and early 90s were kind of pioneers of like discovering stuff that like African music and stuff like that. Like, but then apart from John Peel, the stuff we would hear on John Peel, there's a lot of stuff going on out there in the world that they were in folk music, Hungarian folk music, and all this stuff that was kind of like, why are you into that? Why that's not punk or whatever. But they were. So I've got these tapes that like exposed me to stuff. Like this. Well, this one is it's got stuff on it like you would know what you expect, Minutemen, Bad Brains, and then Rasan Roland Kirk, and then and then Larm, and then Street Music of Java, right? And so it's like that he would weave in all these weird things that like to him had a connection that I didn't get at the time, but this music would just like you listen to a tape and there's stuff and you like, and then other stuff like weaves its way into your brain. And so I'd listen to these tapes. I wouldn't necessarily pay attention to who was what, but I just knew like, I like that music. I don't know what it is or where it's from, but it's because it was on this tape. I like it. This other one that had like, the track listing. I can barely read the track listing because it's like he typed it on this like horrible bit of paper. So I knew I listened to music on this tape. And on one side it says like Ethiopian sleaze, right? But I didn't really know what it was. And then later I figured it out because we had the internet and we had like Ethiopics comps and stuff like that. So
I love that stuff so much.
Yeah, so I figured out who it was, and so on this side of this is Mahmoud Ahmed, and on the other side it's a bunch of other random stuff, and so once I figured out that I like. There's one particular song on this that was like my favorite song on it, and then I figured out it was Mahmoud Ahmed. So then I got into Mahmoud Ahmed, and then but I never had any of the records. I listened to stuff online or whatever. I never had any of the records. And then finally, a couple of weeks ago, at this store that I don't know if anyone's heard about, this like new store. It's been open for a year. Local on Piedmont Avenue. In case anyone's interested in checking it out, I found the first Mahmoud Ahmed LP that was released in the US, and as you can see, it's like it was a radio station copy. It's like a cutout. It's kind of partied on and beat up, but I think that's appropriate for the type of record it is. But so it's Ethiopian sleaze is like probably a good term for it. But it's like it's like Ethiopian jazz. I know it's like kind of cliched for record collectors to be like, I'm into Ethiopian jazz.
It's that sort of North African sweep, isn't it? Like all the way across to Mali and across the Sahara from Ethiopia.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very ignorant. I have no idea if Ethiopia is in North Africa or not.
It's over the that's
you were born in Africa. I'm ignorant, and it's bad. I'm stupid. I should know better. I love Ethiopian food. I love Ethiopian music. And Eritrean. I should know better. What's funny? I had a cab driver or Uber driver a couple of weeks ago whose name was Haile Selassie.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was like, and I'm sure like people are probably don't even. And I was like, Haile Selassie. And he was like, yeah, you're being driven around by a king today. And I was like, love it. But there's a lot of Eritreans and Ethiopians in Auckland. But yeah, it's got really. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of this stuff around now. When I first heard this on the tapes that Gert made me, I didn't have any reference point for it, but it just something about it really like. There's something about the maybe it's the scales that they use, kind of a different kind of like 5-note scale. Maybe it's the rhythms they use or whatever. But for some reason, it like struck a chord in my brain, and I tuned into it, and obviously now. It's easier to explore into this stuff, and I have done. But it made me feel really happy. I'll just say it made me feel really happy to get this record. The first time I've ever seen one of his records on vinyl around here, and it made me really happy to find this at Moving Records, Kingston Avenue, Auckland.
The guy from the X, he's been producing like King Ayisoba from Ghana and stuff. And man, I showed this record. Like my favorite Ethiopian, like there it is. Look at that. There you go.
I thought because I know you've talked about him before on the show.
But the guy from the X has been producing it.
We were on, or So the guy who sings for the X now, who's a newer member, but yeah, he's been producing this stuff, this. Anyway, so Gert, who was this now we're going down the rabbit hole. Bear with me. Gert, who introduced me and made those tapes, introduced me to that stuff. Now has a label called Red Wig Records. He lives in Berlin, but he's Dutch. And Red Wig Records did the Rondo's Red Attack.
Oh yeah.
Issue, and also did was involved in this King Ayisoba LP with Macam Record, which is the guy from the X.
Yes,
and,
That's great. That's great. That's a great.
Yeah. So yeah, there's more connections there. So yeah. Actually, because I was thinking about this stuff, I've been thinking about Gert since I got that album. So I sent him an email to be like, "Hey, I've been thinking about it because I've been out of touch with him for a while, just because of distance and time and all of that." But the stuff that like I heard for the first time that he played me is like, kind of life changing.
Well, there's also that X record with my favorite Ethiopian jazz guy, the X with Matthew Matthew Getchu. I always forget his name.
Getachew was his name.
Yeah.
They have done so many rad collaborations. I mean, they went to Africa before they went to Ethiopia. They went to all these countries before a lot of people were doing it. In fact, the guitar player from the X, Terry, I believe, like built his own Jeep and then drove it to Africa and drove around Africa before, not with the band, but drove around Africa to sort of like make connections.
Wow. So
that the band could then go afterwards and play gigs. They're like so inspiring and amazing. And
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I love that King Ayisoba tie-in. I love it.
Yeah, he's great. And so I was fortunate enough. I saw King Ayisoba one time I was in Amsterdam and he happened to be playing. And then also I was really fortunate to see. Well, the thing about Mahmoud Ahmed is that like he's just like, it's like obviously it's cool, like kind of like Ethio jazz for us, like, record collector heads or whatever. But he played here he played in Berkeley, and I went to see him in Berkeley. And as I mentioned, there's a huge Eritrean and Ethiopian population here, and it was jam packed. And I swear, Mahmoud Ahmed is the Ethiopian Tom Jones. He's this like older guy, and he's wearing kind of traditional clothes, and he was like singing, and it was just like the entire like massed front row was just like all ages of Ethiopian women, from young to like old and middle aged and everything in between, and they were enjoying themselves. and they were like shaking their shoulders and doing all the stuff, and like they were like, it was like, you know, they weren't throwing their panties on stage like you get for Tom Jones or their bras, but it was like, yeah, they were loving it. He's the Ethiopian Tom Jones.
I love that your reference is like Tom Jones.
Yeah.
Tom Jones is great, by the way. I've also seen Tom Jones.
Let's move on. Let's not give too much airtime to Tom Jones. But he is great though.
The Welsh Elvis.
Shaking Stevens. All right, Brooksy.
Okay.
What's your name?
So I'm going with another thing that a Bristol-based person, I believe, who's done stuff that I'm in or out with. But this is an LP that I didn't know about, and I bought like 2 weeks ago. But one of my favorite Jamaican artists who came to England and recorded with this guy. So it's Adrian Sherwood on You Sound, right? And there's a lot of stuff on that is you can take or leave.
Right.
Okay, but this is a definite take, which is Prince Farai, Cry Tough on You. So it's a double album so it's like a gatefold double with like great pictures and all this writing. And it's specifically recorded in England when Prince Farai came to England and like stayed at Adrian Sherwood's mum's house in like 78. It's 78 to 84. So if you like Prince Farai, who's like called the King of Thunder, or whatever his name was, like under Heavy Manners, if you look at the Clash second single when they're against the wall, it says Heavy Manners on the back of Paul Simone's jeans, and that's based off.
Right.
It's based off a Prince Farai under Heavy Manners record, right? So he was a big influence on the original English punks, and his stuff's all great, but the production on this is different because it's not Jamaican production.
Right.
It has these weird Sherwood rewinds, and it's different, but it's not tricky or unpleasant. It's just not Jamaican. But it's got Prince Farai, and he's got like lyrics that he's written particularly about being in England and stuff. It's just, and I didn't even know it existed. I was in a record shop the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's like a thing." So
that's amazing. I didn't know about that record either. That's fucking amazing. That must be amazing. That must be a great record.
It's really. Imagine Adrian Sherwood, if no one knows, he's an English producer who had a whole label called On You Sound that kind of pushed dub into space. And so sometimes he didn't hit.
Right.
But his heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
So the production's really, really crisp, and it's not, like I said, it's not quite Jamaican. Like it's definitely an English dub thing, but Prince Farai he's got this really deep voice. There you go, show it the control.
This is a good comp of his stuff. 79 to 84. It's got a Prince Farai track on it, probably from that album.
Yeah,
and yeah,
nice.
He can be a little tricky, and
right.
I mean,
I love it. I love all his shit because he did really good stuff with the slits. He did really good stuff with like the fall, even like the yeah.
He definitely would be more the stuff that you would like out, and sometimes it goes to a place that I'm not as into personally. Right. You would be, but I just think this album, if you like reggae and dub, this works. But if you like On You and Sherwood, it also works. But it's just sort of deep and heavy, and I just didn't know it existed till the other day.
That's amazing.
It's kind of an interesting, and it looks cool, you know. It's like heavy looking record, you know.
One of the best gigs, maybe the best gig, one of the best gigs I ever went to was an On You Sound showcase at the Glasgow Queen Margaret Student Union in like 1990 or something. And it was around the time, remember, what's his name? There was like that, it wasn't Mark Stewart. It was, there was a guy had a hit and it was like, Beef, hello, can you go? And it was, remember that?
Yeah.
What was that? It was on You Sound.
Yeah.
Left on the comments.
But they had anyway, the show was like African Head Charge, that guy, Dub Syndicate.
And Dub Syndicate was another one that was of the era, right?
And I was just like, and then obviously someone, I think maybe Adrian Sherwood was mixing the show live and like making it like, so it was like basically live dub. It was like, and I didn't smoke weed, but I was just like it was mind blowing. It was one of the best gigs ever.
But again,
Ace was obviously massive, and
if you're going into somebody talk about On You. Oh yeah, get in. The thing about On You is it's quite wide ranging, and they did a lot.
Yeah,
so you've got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I went to an On You Sounds like showcase thing in Bristol too. Probably around like 86. I wasn't ready for it, man. I didn't understand it. I was like, I loved like the more like commercial reggae, like Black Uhuru and like stuff like that. But that was just like at that time, I wasn't ready for it.
Well, there was On You, and there was also Abashanti was another one that was the same era that was just doing mad heavy dub. But I think Adrian Sherwood brought in some electronic ideas where he was doing weird rewinds and African Head Charge. There you go. Like it was just different than Jamaican dub. It was just a different sound. But anyway, have a crack at all of them. But this one's particularly great.
Yeah. That one is like,
I heard that stuff before I heard Jamaican dub, really, probably. You know what I mean? So it was like, all
right.
But a little different, but yeah, get involved in that one.
Killer pick.
Good pick.
All right.
Good chat.
Briggsy, what's your...
My next one is one of only 2 French punk records I bought this year. New stuff, I guess.
Plain choice, surely.
No, that's the other one. I think somebody already did that one on here.
They did.
So, no, it's just. It's also on
Plastic Bertrand.
No, I listened to that yesterday. This is another long shot music record. It's a band called Rancour.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Fatality.
It's really good.
I don't have a lot to say about it. It's definitely that whole trend of cold oi.
Yeah. Okay.
I really hate that term.
I'm not going to say oi division.
Oi division. No. Syndrome 81 and Kronstadt.
Yeah, I mean it's catchy, it's anthemic, it's kind of got a post-punk darkwave edge.
Collision.
It's a good record.
It's a great record.
Really, all I have to say about it.
Hang on, let's check it out. Who put that out? It's out Long Shot Records, right?
Long Shot Music. Yep.
Long Shot Music.
I guess it depends which record, if it's Long Shot Records or Long Shot Music, or
and
LS.
they did the Claim Choice record too. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So he does a lot of stuff from the label from Paris. What's the name of that? LV something, Briggsy?
I don't think he's really done too much. UVPR.
UVPR, because like Claim Choice was on that, and then
that guy, that guy Ben
over here, Longshot did it. So he does get some of it, and like some of it, like that LP2, that Rancour, it can get lost in this idea of like skinhead music, because they sort of look it and they all play in this world, but they don't really sound like it.
No, not at all.
Like Collision, the same. The Collision's got like skinny jeans and fucking Adidas trainers, and it looks like a skinhead record, and it's not. And that one is the same. It's like hard writing, but they all look like skinheads, but it's not. It is that kind of cold, oi, I guess. I don't know.
There was like a big article that was going around the other day. It was actually that's what we're talking about, right?
I think they even use it as like a self-identifier, but I don't know. I hate the term.
You think that? So obviously, there's like a lot of kind of buzz around that kind of stuff right now, right? And there's also there's a sort of a bubbling up of a kind of modern oi scene, or that's like, and a lot of it doesn't really sound like oi.
Not at all.
Stuff you're talking about, right? Yeah. But so there's the stuff you're talking about that sounds more kind of post-punk. And then there's the other stuff that to me sounds more like almost more like hardcore than oi.
Yeah.
Or kind of music, right? And it's there's sort of like a branching of like the post punk and the more hardcore.
Right.
But it's like they all kind of look like skinhead, dressed like skinheads, and they're all in part of that same jumble, that same scene. And or even there's that band Skinhead that sounds like Southern California pop punk, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like, do you think that the aesthetic helps them or hurts them? Like, do you think that a band that like Rancor, if they didn't have that skinhead aesthetic, would they appeal to a broader audience, or is it the fact that they have that aesthetic means they're going to appeal to this specific
That's a good question.
skinhead audience, that therefore they're going to have, because like, I mean, and I don't know the answer or have an opinion necessarily, but it's an interesting thing to think about because
well, I think that a lot of these bands get to tour with their friends and like-minded people playing places that are pretty decent sized.
Yeah.
They're connected, and they're all slightly connected. For example, Claim Choice aren't a skinhead band at all, but they play with these things. But they get to play these decent shows, and they get to tour.
Yeah, and there's a built-in audience for it.
Like Collision.
The built-in audience is because of the way they're dressed, not necessarily because of it. And they're a great band. They've got good songs, right? But like, there's people who probably aren't checking them out who would like them because of the aesthetic. But then there's a lot of people who are checking them out because of the aesthetic.
But I think if they didn't have an aesthetic, then they could just get lost in some world because they don't really fit in any world. Because listen to them, like take away like Rancor, like take away the hard writing and them looking tough, and put like the cover of that Japanese bloke on the front, right? And then you'd be like, oh, you know, you close your eyes, you'd be like, oh, this might almost be a kind of tougher 80s thing.
Right.
And then where do you put them? So then these,
but like, I do think that there's like a thing where like if the music's good, like think about Any Current Suppression Ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like a band. They just look like some blokes. They don't have a sort of solidifying aesthetic, and yet they are one of the best bands.
But they're an anomaly in a world of people that are playing in their hometown and no gives a fuck about that are great. Like they're a band that got to where they are somehow, and everyone got on board. And there's also an element of if certain people get on board with your shit, then you get a bit more play all over the place. And some of these bands, maybe they got into it through the skinhead world, and so they're just like, well, that's our world, you know. We sound different, but we're not totally that. Like, we're not a skinhead sounding band, but what else?
I mean, I think you think about like, well, yeah. I mean, a band like Alvilda or whatever. Like, obviously they're becoming really popular, not just with that sort of skinhead thing. But that was the sort of, that was the germ of what got them to popular. But then
he doesn't look like it. They don't look like it, and they're on a label that doesn't do it. So they immediately were, even though half of them are in the bands that are in that scene, they were already on a label that doesn't do it. They don't look the same.
I mean, for me, the bigger picture of this is like, who could have imagined in the 80s that, like, you know, there'll be a lot of mileage out of the second Blitz LP, and there's bands making like nobody could have predicted that. Nobody could have predicted that. But it's I mean, there's so much good music being made in that style, and you know, I'm not gonna judge it, but it's just nobody could have predicted like this.
No, not at all.
Right.
It's a good record.
It's a good record.
Good record.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway.
But also it was a vehicle for a conversation, which is like that's what we're here.
It's an interesting topic. I think about a lot, and I know like a lot of people just are totally over all this stuff. Like they've had enough of it, and a lot of like my sort of French punk friends like, didn't that band Delita even like make stickers like saying like "fuck French oi" and all that? And they're a French band, and they're just like they've had enough of like fucking French.
I'm sure.
Like
probably. I mean,
The guy from Deletar also plays guitar on the Tige, which has never been on this show, but that's a great record.
They're great. But yeah, that's what another one that I'm like, I'm going to get to that one day. But today, I'm going back to the Japanese first wave punk. Okay, This is fascinating to me. I'm so excited to be discovering this. Last week, I talked about this record, which is the Tokyo Rockers. It's kind of considered a classic. It's just an interesting album because it's called like Tokyo Rockers, but it has all the friction style bands on it. The more like herky jerky. It's got the Mirrors and Mr. Kite and Lizard and Friction, who are kind of the more like angular stuff. But the record's called Tokyo Rockers. This is a kind of classic. So I'm like, there must be some more of these kind of compilations out there. And lo and behold, I found one this week. Again, this is one that like the cover of the record and the title of the record does absolutely not match the music on the record. It's called Tokyo New Wave 79. This is the cover.
Oh, that looks something I'd want. No matter what. I want that record. Okay, so they decided to call it Tokyo New Wave, but all the bands on it are just absolutely ripping punk rock. I don't get it. But, you know, it probably is on a major label. It's on Victor, JVC. But, like, let's call it kind of new wave. There's, like, 5 bands on it. Every band has a great name. We've got Sex, Chisatsu, which means suicide, Pain, 8.5, Hachi Toni Bunnoichi, and then this other band called Bolshie, which I'm going to get to another day because Bass Records discovered a whole album's worth of unreleased material this band recorded when they were kids. They recorded when they were kids, and it would have been the first punk album in Japan, but it never got released. I was just listening to this thing, man, this is it's almost like Raw Records punk. It's like that. It's like so high energy. It's recorded live, but it's recorded like so well. And I mean, Brooksy, you said you'll probably buy this if you. I'd buy it on sight unseen, yeah, for sure.
I don't know why they call it Tokyo New Wave. This is punk as fuck. It's like, it's like Raw Records, like
the Sick Things and like ACME Sewage and all them, like just like.
But you know, it's also that it's real rock and roll too. But it's like the energy levels are through the roof. The songs are probably being played twice as fast as if they had been recorded in the studio.
Like you said it's recorded live. Was it recorded like all at one gig kind of thing? Like
yeah. Oh. But it's so well recorded. Like the instruments, that's the separation. It's so well recorded. And I didn't do like too much research, but I kind of found this very interesting like thing. When I was looking at the band Sex, the singer of the band Sex, his name immediately jumped out of me because it's this guy called Ko Ito. And Ko Ito was this older guy who was totally in like the Burning Spirits like hardcore scene.
Really? Like after that?
Yeah. So there's this band called The Fools, which are like a kind of they kind of got a little bit big in the 80s, but they were like a kind of rock and roll, like Rolling Stones kind of a band. But all the punks in Japan love The Fools. And then there's another band called the Blues Bimbos, and the drummer of the Blues Bimbos was the drummer of Forward. And then they have another drummer who was the drummer of Paintbox. And this guy from Sex is the singer in that band. So the lineage is mind-blowing to me. This lineage of like first wave Japanese punk through to like the Burning Spirit stuff. I did not see that connection. I guess everyone knows about it here, but I didn't know about it. And I found it really fascinating that there's that connection between like first wave Japanese punk and like the hardcore as well.
But I think the first wave of Japanese punk, like you talk about a lot, you've done these other videos on your thing, but actually it wasn't till later that it actually made it to Europe and to America. Like we all heard about Japanese hardcore in the 80s, maybe just because I got into it then, but like it was way later that we discovered Friction, Kite, Mr. Kite, and all those bands way later. And I think it was very specifically Japanese. And so even the more obscure, the same way, like you said, Raw Records would never have, it was quite obscure even for England. So like a lot of until like the mid 80s, I don't think the 70s, late 70s stuff really made it out of Japan at all. As far as I'm concerned.
Okay. There's a thing. I don't know who these guys were influenced by, but there's a bunch of bands. For example, there's a band called RC Succession. There was a whole bunch of like rock and roll bands that played really like high energy rock and roll in the 70s in Japan. And Japanese punks loved those bands. And I think that's how the first wave of Japanese punk started from these.
Yeah. Is that kind of like
the MC5, the Stooges? It's like the kind of equivalent of that.
Yeah.
It's like high energy, like rock and roll.
Feel good kind of like was like kind of like feel good kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't totally realize. I think for me it was like the band the SS and then Stalin or whatever. Before that, like it was just
There's also a band called the Roosters who are making like super high energy like rock and roll records in the 70s, and they're a huge influence on first wave punk.
That sounds really cool. Like that kind of rockabilly rock and roll. Like I love that original gear. Like I'm about it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm kind of so late to get into this, but it's really fascinating to me to discover this stuff. Like it's never too late to discover this stuff. But anyway,
it's difficult for us over here to find stuff like that. To be honest,
this got reissued. This is actually, this is a 2001 reissue. But I mean, you can find them on Discogs for like not super expensive.
Yeah, but a lot of the Japanese stuff is still, even the stuff that we sort of know about,
right?
Because of shipping and everything, is actually relatively hard to get in America.
Right.
Particularly odd, weird stuff. It's like you'll see 10 of them for sale in Japan, but none for sale here because they never made it.
Right.
So,
Anyway, for me, super exciting to like discover like the history of Japanese rock and roll, and I'm just having a good time with it.
Sounds great.
Yeah. All right.
Al.
All right. As Tim mentioned, we were over as the other week, and we were talking about records and stuff, and we always end up talking about nostalgia for a certain time period, often, and we were talking about what we're going to bring on the show, maybe and stuff like that, some ideas, and I think I don't know if I won't mention it in case you're going to bring it out, but I was like, oh well, and what Tim was showing me reminded me of the Hardcore Holocaust Peel Sessions LP that was like basically a compilation of tracks from various bands that John Peel did sessions for, including the Stupids, Electro Hippies is really great tracks on here, Extreme Noise Terror, Napalm Death, obviously, Doom, Unseen Terror, Intense Degree. But this is my pick. But I was listening to it after talking to Tim because I didn't know I had it. I thought I only had it on tape, and then I was looking for something else for this show, and I was like, I do have this on vinyl. And I texted it to Tim, but I thought I only had because my best mate Sandy and I used to alternate buying records. Like I'd buy a record and tape it for him, and then he'd buy a record and tape it for me. So a lot of stuff that I love to this day I've talked about tapes. I'm talking about tapes again. There's a lot of stuff that is like some of my favorite stuff ever that I only actually had on tape that Sandy taped for me, and vice versa. So I thought this was one of those things, but I guess at some point in my life I picked it up. But listening to that, it reminded me of something today. It was one of my favorite records that I only had on tape, but I have it on vinyl now. And it is Doctor and the Crippins. This thing is classic.
It's
an era. An era for us.
That record sounded better.
Briggsy doesn't know what it is.
I know the name. I've seen the name a million times, but I've definitely never heard it.
I mean, I didn't like it. We used to go and see them live, right, a lot back
Well,
then.
of course, because Bath, Bristol, whatever. Like, I never saw them live, and I know that they were a phenomenon live.
I didn't either.
Oh, really?
They were.
No,
they were scared. They were like a lot of bands. They were scared to come to Scotland for good reason.
But they used to have like exploding cabbages on stage.
That's why I heard about exploding cabbages.
Like but like low key skin toe guar. Like they would just have like mad costumes.
It
But
was
they were
kind
really
of, it was kind of gimmicky, a little bit gimmicky, but the music's kind of
They
remote.
were really,
hardcore.
they were really, they were, their lyrics were comedy, right? And their lyrics were all about like kind of horror films or whatever. But like, yeah, just really stupid, really funny. And I think, I don't know, was some of them involved in Skate Muties from the Fifth Dimension and Bugs and Drugs, the zine?
Maybe.
I think so.
We do know that the drummer is Bambi, who played on Discharge's Y. We know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Really?
The drumming is amazing on this record.
They were, because it was of their humor was very similar to.
Yeah, I feel like there was. If they weren't, they were like. They probably helped them with the layout or whatever. But there was like.
Pink Machine Gun's a great track. Yeah.
And Don't Look in the Freezer. Another good one.
Don't look in the. But yeah, Don't Look in the Freezer. What is it?
But there was so Bristol had like
it's all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters.
But Doctor and the Crippins weren't from Bristol. They were from somewhere like up north. I forget exactly where though.
Really?
I assume they're from Bristol.
No, they're up north. So somewhere up north. I forget.
So I never saw them, but they were kind of a comedy band. But they did Peel sessions, and so they.
That was how. Yeah, and so they have other. I mean, I've got other records of theirs. That's my favorite.
You know what? The one I really like is the Avant Gardening, the Avant Gardening 12-inch.
I don't remember that.
There he is.
There it is.
Avant Gardening, and they also did a split 7-inch on MCR with Juntes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they are Northerners. What town? I forget. Yeah. It's not too north. It's like a bit north of the Midlands.
Yeah, they're Northerners. Oh, all right, Simon. Yeah, they were always around, but for whatever reason, I just never saw them because they were always crossing over in that stuff. But they were a bit jokey for me.
Super jokey, super funny, but really catchy and like funny. It's just like and actually like musically good. That's the thing. Is like they were like
it's kind of Ramonesy.
They were musically good,
but they were dead fast.
The fast, much faster. Yeah. And this is a reissue on Boss Tunage. With like it's got like one album. It's the double LP. One album is the album, and the other side is the other LP is Peel Sessions and Demos.
Nice. Okay.
Boss Tunage done loads of that era.
Yeah.
Loads of it. It's really easy to get. Expedition, Ripcord, Heresy, all these you can find.
Yeah. Stupids, I think.
Exploded Cabbages. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Again, it just takes you back. It's good memories of seeing them live. They used to play in Bristol a lot, so maybe that's why people thought they were from Bristol, but they were definitely from up north. But always a good time. Doctor and the Crippins.
I'm going to do one that I know, Mike. I don't know if we did the video or it was online or something. You were talking about D-beat bands.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone had chipped in, had a fucking opinion. And as they do. And this record, again, I know we're going back to our fucking era. Briggsy's sitting there going, fucking hell, I was there in 1989 in fucking Bristol or Bradford. You know what I mean?
He's learning a lot.
But this one did get reissued. I'm really surprised it never came up.
Okay, in the comments and everything?
I don't think so.
Oh, that was on my original first 10.
It was.
In the video, yeah.
But it hasn't been on the show.
I put it in my top 10 D-beat records. It was one of my picks.
Okay, but it's not been on this show.
No.
Because I was really surprised. And the reason I brought it up, because the other ones all have a reason, like it's new or there's something going on.
Right.
I couldn't believe that we haven't discussed it.
Disaster, Warcry, Halifax's Finest.
So it's been reissued. And I thought I had both versions, but I could only find the original that I think I bought off Briggsy.
I think you did.
There you go.
So the original was on Tone Deaf Records. and it's actually quite collectible.
It is. I was going to say, yeah.
It's quite difficult to get, but it has been reissued. And
Avidress and did it, right?
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy to find. But weirdly, of that era, so it was 1990, right? But of that era and that time, they weren't very well known then.
No.
And I don't know why, because everyone later on talked about like, oh, it had this people, this band, that band, but I don't think they really had anyone from anyone.
Right. Like just
It wasn't like the fucking Dis Attack, which was like members of somebody and somebody. Like,
Yeah.
it's Bill Steer from Carcass, right?
right. This band were from Halifax, so it's the north of England that had loads going on, right? So it was like you were sort of near enough to like Doom and Hellbastard and all these bands, but for some reason that record never made a big splash. It was not a big deal. They didn't do very many gigs, but I feel like it's sort of a standard bearer of like DB.
Yeah. I don't know why that one just sort of got ignored back then. I think
It did.
like I guess it was that time where it's like Active Minds had already put out like that This Is Getting Pathetic EP, and people maybe getting like burnt out with I don't know, but
I don't remember because I'd love to say that I battered it in 1990, but to be honest, I didn't get it till way later on. Like I didn't even know about it. I don't remember it really.
Yeah,
but listening to it now, it really does stand amongst all the stuff I mean, maybe I miss you talking about it, but it stands amongst all those like classic. If you fucking love DB,
I think it's like the punkest DB record. It's really leaning to Y in this like super like punk way.
Yeah. It's really rough and raw and like, you know, but but I also think it was early enough that it wasn't part of the cycle of all the bands doing it. Like I think there's a bit for it. Like the Swedes and all them were sort of on that tip, and then it was like Doom and those bands. But later in the 90s and stuff, everyone was doing this. You know, it was like Disclosed, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't quite a thing yet.
It wasn't.
Right?
No.
It's not like flashy either. It's like real like fucking like punk as fuck.
It's really punk, yeah. And it's just like a really, I mean, like I said, the reason I brought it out was had it not been reissued, maybe I wouldn't, because it's like quite difficult to find.
Right, it is.
But the reissue's not difficult to find, and it's really worth getting because it's just really punk.
It's a must. Absolutely. If you're into DB, it's an absolute must.
Yeah, it's top, like you said, top 10.
Top 10.
No one would say.
There you go.
Critical Mass is going by.
Oh.
Yeah, nice. More people should like broadcast from inside their stores and stuff. It's much more interesting.
I didn't have time to go home, so it was kind of forced upon me. But
All right. All I have to say about that.
All right, Briggsy, what's your next pick?
Running out of time, huh? So my next pick is possibly the only new hardcore record I bought this year.
All right. Wow. Okay.
I don't know how that happened, but I can't think of another one. So this is a split LP of two bands from Texas, both of which are now broken up on the Unlawful Assembly label, which seems to be just pumping out hit after hit after hit. So it's the Stunted Youth Save Our Children split.
Look at that.
It's 33 tracks. Whoa, those guys are loud out there. 33 tracks. I don't know. The Stunted Youth side is kind of like Deep Wound style, like Thrash and Bash, or like Boston, not LA era Gangrene. It absolutely rips. The other side, the Save Our Children side, is not too much different. Also rips super hard. That's all I gotta say.
Man, a few words.
Yeah.
33 track, 12-inch. You kind of know what you're getting.
Ripper.
It's Ripper. There you go.
I love that you said the bands broke up.
I think so. I believe it says a collection of recordings from two defunct hardcore bands from Texas. So,
Texas always had good hardcore bands, you know.
Yeah.
Recently too. Like for some reason, I don't know why. Like they're always a bit ball ripping. I'm always just surprised, and then I hear something and be like, "Oh, that's from Texas, I guess." You know what I mean? Like they manage all those people. Is it older or younger people?
Younger than me.
Us.
I think maybe some of them.
Don't say.
Maybe that's why they stopped playing. I don't know. It fucking rips.
Ripping hardcore from Texas, 2025. Check it out. All right, I got a new record actually from Liverpool.
Ooh,
Beatles.
That was going to be part of my lead up to that. So I'd be wanting to talk about this record like for a couple of months, but I'm like, nah, nobody wants to hear about this record. But I want to talk about it, so I'm going in with this. If you've got a hard hat, any protective clothing, put it on now. This record is so heavy, it might inflict damage upon you. So beware.
we can deal with it, Mike. Come on.
Bear with me on this. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's show the record and I'll just check your faces, and then I'll decide where I'm going to go with my. This band, remember I talked about Anarchy, like the Japanese punk band? They kind of took the best, like, punk name. This band kind of took the best heavy metal name. It didn't get taken forever. They took it. Conan.
Don't know it. Never heard of it.
Don't know it.
The heaviest band in the world.
Are they heavy? Is it slow heavy or heavy?
Yeah, yes. Oh God, yes. And like, bear with me on this because it like. Okay, I've been a big fan of this band for ages, and it's like obviously they are a heavy metal band, but they're a kind of doom band. But then it's easier to say what this band isn't than what they are. So they're not death doom. There's no growls. They're not sludge. They're not traditional doom. They're not like Candlemass or Trouble. They're not stoner. They're not Electric Wizard.
They're not sleep.
They're not sleep. There's no like psychedelic music in this at all. In fact, they actually call themselves Caveman Battle Doom, which I'm sure will appreciate. You'll appreciate that. See, what they do is they just take a fucking Brontosaurus riff and just pummel it until you have to like, you have to sort of get on the ropes. It's like being like destroyed by Big Daddy or giant haystacks. You have to like just give up. I know, it's like just relentless repetition. There's no like fancy stuff. It's just like repetition. The biggest. I have to always turn the bass down. It's one of a few records I have to go over and turn the bass down because the windows shake when I play Conan records.
I mean, I like the sound of it. I do.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm going somewhere with this. This is very interesting to me because obviously, look at the artwork. It's like the most heavy.
I love the artwork.
It's like the most heavy metal thing ever. But as I've always thought about Conan, is like this could almost appeal to like AmRep or like noise rock fans. The way it's like
Hammerhead or something like that.
Yeah, it's just like bludgeoning.
Yeah,
like unforgiving, like relentless repetition, with like no blues, like no bluesiness, like no psychedelics. The vocals are just like a thin layer above the music.
Like Unsane? Would it be like Unsane or like more like a metal?
No, but it doesn't really sound like any of those bands. But the effect, is the same. And then, okay, so I had that thought, like, yeah, but like this is a heavy metal band, blah blah blah. And then I just looked it up. And they've had Dave Riley from Fudge Tunnel playing bass for them, which kind of validated all the things that I was thinking about this band, man. I was like, this would appeal to people who like just being bludgeoned to death by like repetition. Conan, man, it's like from Liverpool. And they kind of have this like DIY aesthetic. I saw a documentary they did. They toured Japan. They played in I do not know how the venues they played in survived. They played like the tiniest like live houses, and they're so fucking loud. But anyway, this is like their 6th LP. They've been going for years.
Check them out.
They're in the book.
The record's called Violence Dimension. Ooh. There's a song on it called Total Bicep. What could you ask for? It's a gate. The gatefold's not interesting, but this is the outside. No,
have you listened? Have you
the lyrics
listened
are not about. This is not Hobbit rock, not Wizards. It's like brutal, like.
I don't mind Wizards, Mike. I don't mind
I
that.
don't mind either. I don't mind, but someone did ask, "Are there lyrics about Wizards?" Wizards, no. It's just like.
Oh yeah, lyrics about Wizards.
Desolation hex. It's very bleak, like bleak.
But they're metalheads. Like they've got long hair and stuff. Like,
but it has this like fucking like just this feel about it. You can tell. And just like the fact that they got like, the bassist of Fudge Tunnel in them now, kind of like validated everything I was thinking about this band.
Hands up if anyone in here saw Fudge Tunnel.
Yeah, once I think, but
yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but the fact that like he's playing in this Conan band now, I just was just like I kind of laughing. It's like this is perfect. But big bass sound. Anyway, I'm kind of glad I finally got this one off my chest. I've been wanting to talk about this for a couple of months.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm in.
Conan, Violence Dimension. There you go. That's my last pick.
All right.
I've got like 9 more over here. Okay.
You can go all night. All right, for my last pick, pressure's on.
Man of War.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with. Okay, this is a bit of an odd one. It's just if I can find it. I had it earlier. Okay, this is a bit stupid.
Good. We like
more stupid than Dr. Cricket. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, more stupid than Dr. Cribbins.
Jesus Christ. Toy dolls.
Today or this week, I believe Hardskin, they're playing their last ever gigs.
I've seen some video footage
over in London. Sorry
played last week with my mate, our friend Dean Bettis and Bad Sam are playing, I believe, their last gig in Newport.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, very, very, very sad for that. Maybe they'll do a reunion in 10 years. No, so it's obviously we've all had many of us have had good times with that group. This record is called The Hill to Die On, and it's on JT Classics, which is Johnny Takeaway from Hardskin's label that a lot of Hardskin's is on now, right? JT is Johnny Takeaway. The Hill to Die On is the solo album that he recorded during the pandemic.
Shut up.
In the countryside. And it's made in the west of England. And then this part just says a waste of space, which it is. The insert looks a bit like the Mob or Peace Punk or something like that. There's a picture of our man Johnny back in his punk days. I believe this is.
Don't take away a Thatcher on Acid. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think this is pre-Thatch, or maybe around the time of Thatch.
Another band I used to go and see all the time in little villages in like.
Thatcher and Acid were great.
Anyway, sorry to derail you, Al.
Sorry.
No, please. This is why I'm here. No, Thatcher and Acid were great. Anyway, track listings. Some of the songs. The Happy Skinhead, which is a bit of a takeoff on Faust's The Sad Skinhead, if anyone's familiar with that song, which is great. No Dogs Allowed, Free Soup Tuesday, Peppa Pig to Nuclear Weapons. So basically the record, the songs, the music is it's like krautrock. It's like solo, or a bit like spacey, like Tangerine Dream. Like there's no real rhythm to it, there's no beat to it. It's like keyboard, piano, like spacey krautrock.
Wow.
I mean, I love the guy. I'm not going to say it's great krautrock, but it's interesting. It's just weird. Like he was, it's yeah, did it all by himself. It says on here, be polite. But it's and it's I mean you can get it. I think it's available. Just like it's not.
I've never even heard of it.
This is
He just kind of snuck it out. He didn't. Yeah. It's yeah.
But I think what's interesting about those dudes, if you look at like Sean with Wat Tyler, and then you look at like Thatcher and Acid, they were always pushing something out there, even back then.
Yeah, yes.
When everyone was in this fucking thing, me included, trust me, I was following the fucking line. But all those people were doing things where people were like, what are you doing?
Right.
Thatcher and Acid were like that. They would do like weird folk stuff. And
right. Yep.
very strange. And then Wat Tyler did weird shit all the time. And I think they were always contrary.
Totally.
Yeah.
But in a way that was sort of inoffensive, but also people were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? But that's what they did. They just did it. And then they carried on and they did the tone, they did hard skin, they did all these other things.
Yeah.
They were more listenable, people loved, but they still had Schwarzenegger, but they had that mentality from 81, whenever it was. I mean, I started us in 85 or 6 or whatever. And they were, I saw them with Political Asylum. And I remember, you know,
classic lineup, a classic twofer that would.
and Dambut Nobakan from fucking Chumbawamba, right? But we just wanted it to be punk.
Yeah.
More punk, you know, and we saw I think it was maybe with KOCK play the same thing, but I remember us looking at each other like we were 14 or 15 going,
I know it, right?
I remember what's up with the chorus pedal? Like, why is your chorus pedal on so loud, so hit fire? It's like, yeah, man, play this time. But just take away the chorus pedal and you'd be like, all right, great. It's like
it was just such a thing that it took a minute to be on it. But
they were pushing things. They were trying to do something different.
But they've continued being anarchist, interesting, and difficult till today. So I think that's kind of good.
Man, I remember going to see the Astronauts. It must have been like
oh my god!
Right, yeah, but in about like 1987 in Bournemouth, and it was like a Wednesday night, like a gothic, like a gothic disco night. But the Astronauts played. Whoa. That was such a weird evening. I wasn't having it. Like 20-year-old me was not having the Astronauts.
Same with the Apostles. Like I was not having it either. Like I was not having.
But fast forward years later, like younger people. This, you know, classic, you know, forgotten, like, you know, it's like, but I know that, you know, now I can kind of listen to it and think, yeah, okay, decent, but like, I wasn't having that at the age of 20 and like in 1987.
I loved Political Asylum because I used to sort of buy the tapes that looked like a small child to draw the covers and stuff, but I loved them. And Thatcher and Acid, I remember just thinking, like, I should like them.
Again, it was like I was let's talk about this after the show. It was a very like middle class thing, actually. It was like kind of posh country pubs, and all the public school girls would go and see him and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just thought it was shit, and I wanted it to be fast.
You know what's funny is that you know what holds up the most though. You know what holds up the most from all of that stuff actually is Wat Tyler.
Yeah,
like, if you listen to what, because they had so many songs and so many records. If you listen to the records that have like, you know, they have these records with like 40 songs or whatever, and there'll be like 12 songs that are just like absolute punk bangers.
But it's still a trick.
But they had to layer, but they always layered in the kind of comedy and the experimentation and the little people and all of that stuff, because that was just what they wanted to do. You know? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Brooksy, what's your
so
last pick?
Quality Control from London. Ola's in jail. We all know what's going on with that. Free Palestine, all this stuff. Great label. She's got loads of stuff with her label that's great. She's known for pretty heavy UK hardcore. Okay. There's this band that Clint from Short Fuse in Australia put out a single of, and Ola did the album, and it's absolutely fantastic. Stages in Faith.
Oh.
I think they're from Harlow in Essex, and they did a single that Ola put out, and then Clint Short Fuse did a single. And I wrote to him and was like, he hadn't done anything for 10 years since like the Ripcord, It's About the Future. And I was like, why are you doing this record? He's like, because it's fucking brilliant. And they split up soon after the album. So the album's called Delside. And you know what? It sounds like Reason to Believe, Far Side, maybe a bit of Revolution Summer, Dag Nasty, Wig Out of Denko's.
Wow.
All that mixed together with a little bit of the first Quicksand album.
Bloody hell.
It rips so much. It's so good, but they put it out, and I think they just split immediately after. And they're from England, and so everyone was like, I don't think maybe Mike and I will understand this more, where there was an era of bands like Flame On or Visions of Change, or these bands that really wanted to sound American, but they couldn't quite do it. So they end up with this other different bit. So I think it's like, imagine all the stuff I told you, all American bands, but imagine that from Harlow. But you know what I mean? But if you imagine like Mega City 4 or something and put a bit of that in there, where where I don't think they wanted to be anyone else, but they're very, very English, but also they sound like those bands, and it's very sort of DC. It's pretty soft, you know, but it's like has those sort of like rolling kind of, and it's no one ever talked about it.
I've never even heard of it before. No,
it's really, really good. I listened to it with the missus in the car the other day, and it's one of those bands when you hear the songs, you think you've heard the song before.
Wow.
Because you're sort of like, wait, is that off that Quicksand album? Like, and the missus said the same thing. She goes, "Oh, I know this record." I said, "No, you don't." but only not being a dick, but like, she just had that like initial reaction to it, going, "Oh, this sounds really familiar." Like the sound, you know, and particularly for people that have grown up in the late 80s in England with even being the melodic bands in England, it kind of sounds like that mixed with American stuff, and it's great. And it's on Quality Control, and it's easy to get, and you'll find it.
I'm getting like super loud like noises. Is it you, Briggsy?
No, I think it's Tim.
No, I'm getting no sounds. It's not me. Are you hearing it now?
Yeah.
I don't think it's me.
Don't move. Don't move. All right.
I can't believe it. It's the last pick of the day.
Can you still hear weird noises or not? Because I can't.
I did a little bit just then, but it's okay. Let's carry on. All right.
Yep. Last one. All right. This is my record of the year.
Record of the year.
Allan knows what it is already. It's the debut LP by this duo from Greenock, Scotland. The Chords, self-titled record.
The Chords.
Yup. It's super twee, just a two-piece indie pop. It's a co-release between Slumberland and Skepwax, which is Rob and Amelia Fletcher from Heavenly and Tallulah Gosh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It fits perfectly into that rut of, It's, I can't even tell you how many times I've listened to it. I listened to probably 8 times today.
What?
But it's flawless.
It's really good.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
The Chords, like spelt like the old mod band?
No,
like corduroys. Cords.
Cords. Okay.
When I saw Allan in after we'd been to that record store in Oakland, Allan had bought it that day, I believe. And then I went home and listened to it after he'd bought it at your shop.
And it's really,
they're really young. They're like, I think one of them is maybe 14, the other one's 16 or something.
Exactly.
And so their parents are younger than me. But they're like, the parents are obviously cool because they're like cool, but they've and they're from Greenock, like Justin was saying, which is not it's a coastal town. It's maybe like 45 minutes from Glasgow or something, maybe less. Small town, and they're but they've been sort of adopted by the Glasgow scene, and now they play like your mother's for Greenock.
They're about to tour with the Charlatans.
Yeah.
So they're already
they're doing all the gigs, getting all the support gigs and all that. But they've played with the Pastels. They played with
I was at that.
They played like the Glasgow's pop thing. They played with like BMX Bandits. They played with all these other bands.
Okay.
They were the opening band this year at Glasgow's pub.
They're carrying definitely. They played with Bell and Sebastian. They played the Bell and Sebastian Outdoor Festival. They're carrying on that tradition of that twee Glasgow pop, and they're really good at it.
Really good.
Oh man,
it's a perfect record.
And all you guys like this record, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh,
really good.
You'll love it, mate.
I didn't. Yeah.
And it's on Slumberland, so you'll be able to get it.
Yeah, should be able to get it from Disc Union or wherever.
Yeah, wherever you got the Chime School record or the Neutrals record, wherever you may have found Neutrals. Just
if you were buying a Neutrals record,
if anyone was interested in buying,
been doing some subliminal advertising the whole show.
Yes.
But that you know what, Mike, that was one that I knew zero about, and I saw Allan the other day, and he was like, "Oh, this record's great." And usually, obviously, I don't listen to him, and I was like, "Whatever." But I went home, and I was like, "Actually, this one is good." And Briggsy likes that stuff. We like the Sarah Records stuff, and that.
Okay, yeah.
It's not that quite, but it's really good. Yeah,
it's been our top new release that we've had so far, which we sold 10 copies. I would say the next closest thing is maybe something we sold 3 of. So if that means anything, but I played in here all the time, and just today 2 people came in and were like, "What's this?"
What's this?
It's the old
they bought it.
Both of them. 3 EPs.
But I think they're going to be quite big.
I think so.
They can get out of that sort of little twee world.
Yeah, well, I think because they're obviously they're they're lovely young girls. They're really they're personable, and and they're like they're not like trying to like get ahead or whatever. They're not like doing all TikTok stuff or whatever. They're just doing their thing, and they're into good music, and they're playing with good bands. So I think they can do it sort of organically. I don't think they have to play the Charlatans. I think it's fine that they are doing it, but. I think, they could do this sort of like, Strawberry Switchblade thing where they kind of cross over into like a bigger orbit. But I think if they'll do it with that, because they're like I said, their parents seem pretty cool, and so I think they'll have like their heads on their shoulders, and I think they'll do it in a nice way.
Nice.
I think Briggsy may have pulled out the fucking hit of the night.
Oh, definitely.
No, I'm glad you left it to the end too.
It's easily my favorite record of this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good. So good.
Beautiful.
And it's one of mine too, but like I didn't, and I said, and I knew that Justin was, I figured that Justin was probably going to pull it out, so I texted him.
Okay.
You doing this one? He's like, yeah, so it's.
Yeah, you did the same thing with the Conan record as well, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
There we have it. I'm going to put this one in the box marked classic episodes. I keep under my futon. It was a classic episode. We got no show next week. I'm taking the week off next week. But the next thing we're going to do, actually, I'm recording it tomorrow, actually, with Daniel from Sorry State and Eric Anderson from Maxim Rock and Roll. We're going to do our top 10s each, top 10 punk records each of the year. So we could have 10 or it could be 30. It's probably going to be somewhere between that, but we're going to record that tomorrow and put it up.
When we get off air, I'm going to tell you what I think.
All right. We'll get to that. But thanks for watching, everyone. always appreciate that everyone kind of sits at home on Friday night and watches us idiots talking about records. It's beautiful, actually. It's a beautiful thing, and I love doing it. But I'm going to take a week off next weekend. But this will be up to watch on the Allan Attack YouTube channel on Monday or Tuesday. So, we'll bid you farewell. Bid you adieu. Anyone have a new catchphrase? Do the usual catchphrase. Until next time.
Fuck the law.
Until next time. Stay healthy.
Still break the law.
Are we out? We're out.
Stay clean.